Hello, Princess on a Pillow here. I am here to do a review slash recap on 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days. It's season 5, episode 10. The title is Time's Up. Now this episode was pretty good. It gave me a good little bit of chuckle. Yeah, this is a good episode. I enjoyed this episode. So let's get started. The first couple is Usman and Kimberly. Okay, we see Usman and Kimberly in bed. They get up to get dressed, and Kimberly's talking to the camera, and she said Usman hasn't even kissed her yet. Let me show you a picture of Kimberly. Who would want to kiss this picture? Who would want to kiss this person in this picture right here? Hold on. I have pictures on my laptop, but I just don't put them up. Hold on 1 second. Let's get Kimberly. There we go. Let's make it nice and... Oh. 1 second. Alright. Let me take this out here. Here is Kimberly. Let me turn off my ring light. Okay. Here is Kimberly. There's Kimberly. Why don't Kimberly just splash on some foundation, concealer, something? Earrings, lipstick, eyelashes, something. She's 50 years old. That's Kimberly right there. That's who Usman's supposed to be kissing and making love to. You know, turn on my ring light. There she is. I mean, I am 55 years old. I have to put on some type of foundation, concealer, slap something on my face, because if I didn't, I would look horrible. You hear me? Horrible. She's on national TV looking like that. I don't know why. Kimberly, come on. Anyway, she's talking to the cameras, and she said that Usman hasn't even kissed her yet. I just showed you why. So after they get dressed, they go for a walk by the water. They sit down and have a drink, and they're talking. And they talk about Usman not kissing Kimberly yet. They talk about them not being in a relationship yet. And Kimberly decides to threaten Usman. She decides to threaten the man. She told him that if she leaves without being in a relationship with him, then she's done. She said she's going to start dating when she gets back to the States. So she's threatening him. I'm not going to speak to you ever again if you don't kiss me, make love to me, if we're not in a relationship. And then she starts talking about him disrespecting her son. How did she disrespect his son? Her son. How did he do that? Because he didn't want to have sex with her? That's how I don't know. She's too ridiculous for me. She told him he needs to talk to her son. Why? Why does he need... They're not in a relationship. He hasn't kissed her. They haven't had sex. She's a potential. Why does he need to talk to her son? But Usman agrees to talk to her son. Then Usman tells Kimberly that they are having sex tonight. They're going to be having sex tonight. Why? Why did he cave into her? I can't believe he caved in. I can't believe he... Anyway. Kimberly, I can't believe it. Kimberly can't. She can't believe it either. So she starts to dance. She's so happy. And then she said, I won, I won. She's so childish. Anyway, I don't know how he's going to do it. Because clearly he's not attracted to her. So later that night, they FaceTime Kimberly's son, Jamal. And when Jamal comes on the screen, she introduced Jamal to Usman. And Jamal basically tells Usman that he doesn't trust him. Why don't he trust Usman? What has Usman done for him not to trust Usman? Usman is in Nigeria or wherever they are now, Tanzania, wherever they are. And she flew from the States there to be with him. But you don't trust Usman? What's Usman doing? What has he... I mean, I don't get it. Of course, Usman is using her to be on the show, but the son is telling Usman he doesn't trust Usman. Anyway, it's just confusing to me. He says if Usman hurts his mother, then he has to deal with his mother's heartbreak. What does that have to do with Usman? Anybody can break Kimberly's heart. But you still have to, if you want to be there for your mother so she can cry in your shoulder, then I don't know what's going on. I just don't understand any of this. So Usman tells Jamal how much Kimberly means to him. And then he tells Usman that the way you describe my mother, she sounds like an assistant, not somebody in a relationship with you. What do I want from Usman? I don't get it. So Usman tells Jamal that he's not going to hurt Kimberly. And then Jamal's saying the age difference is not ideal. Your mother decided to date a 33-year-old man. Why are you putting this on Usman? Then he says, if my mother is happy, then I'm happy. So why are we having this phone call? It's so stupid. You know what I think happened? I think the producers, they had some free time that they needed to fill. So they just used this as a little way to fill up their little free time. Because the conversation was ridiculous. The son getting involved is ridiculous. They're not in a relationship. So why are they having this conversation with Jamal? Oh my God. I just don't understand it. And I just don't want to understand it. So an hour later, Usman and Kimberly are back in their room. And Usman is in the bathroom and he's putting on, he's in his shorts and then he's putting on a robe and he got on a soldier boy's chain. He puts on some shades. He comes out, to the bedroom to see Kimberly and basically takes off the robe and jumps into bed with her. And then he pronounces that they're girlfriend and boyfriend. And Kimberly is on cloud 9. He told her that she's no longer a potential. And he told her that she's officially Queen Kimberly. And they get under the covers. But not once did I see him even kiss her on the lips. Not even kiss her on the lips. He was kissing her on the neck. He was avoiding her lips, her mouth area. He was kissing her on the neck. But he avoided her mouth area. That man doesn't want anything to do with Kimberly. He's not sexually attracted to her. Anyway, that's the end of them. Thank God. Now we're on to Hamza and Memphis. So Hamza and his mother, they're shopping for their outfits for the wedding. Hamza tells his mother about the prenup that Memphis wants him to sign. And the mother is pissed. The mother told him he shouldn't have agreed to sign the prenup. The mother told Hamza that husbands and wives are supposed to trust each other. But she trusted her husband, and look what he did. He got himself a mistress, then he dumped her for the mistress and married the mistress. So what is she talking about? You trusted your husband, and look what he did to you. And left you destitute. So the mother told him not to rush into marrying Memphis. So next we see Memphis. She's in their apartment all by herself, and she FaceTimes with her sister Ingrid. And Memphis tells Ingrid that she drank the water there and got diarrhea. She told her about how Hamza messed up the ride to the embassy, and they were late to get to the embassy, so they had to go the next day. She told Ingrid that Hamza lied about his age. She told Ingrid that Hamza is not working and doesn't have any money. She told Ingrid about telling Hamza to sign a prenup. So then Ingrid asks Memphis if she's keeping any secrets from Hamza. And this sounds like a setup, because why would she ask that, Before she had left, she had told Ingrid that she hadn't told Hamza that she had spent a couple of nights with her ex-husband. But I don't think he needs to know that. So you claim it was innocent. Nothing happened. Nothing sexually happened. So why do you need to tell him? But now that you put it out there on TV, you're going to have to tell him. And I said this last episode, that I heard it through the grapevine that they're married and she is pregnant. That Memphis is married to Hamza and she's pregnant. That's what I heard. Don't know how true that is. That's what I heard. So, Ingrid wants Memphis to tell Hamza that she spent 2 nights with her ex, when they're in the beginning, when they first started dating. And Memphis says she's going to think about it. She says she don't know if she's going to tell him. But she has to tell him now because it's out there. She put the story out there. He's going to see it when he watches the show. So later that day, Memphis goes and finds Hamza. And she tells him through the app that she wanted to talk. She tells him that she wanted to talk to him. So she told him to get the translator app. So, she told him she wanted to tell him something. And he went and got the translator app. And she told him that through the translator app, she told him, I want to tell you about something that happened during the summer. And he said, no. He said, you listen. And he tells her exactly what his mother said. He thinks that they're rushing into marriage. And Memphis is looking at him like he's crazy. So Hamza tries to take the translator app from her, and she pushes his arm away, and she said, no. She says in the app, she says, she asks him if he thinks that they should get married on this trip. And then it went off. And that was the end of Hamza and Memphis. Next we have Jasmine and Gino. We see Jasmine and she's still pissed at Gino. The cameraman is still walking behind her showing her butt in her thong bikini or bathing suit. The cameraman is having a good old time with this. He is, because he just keeps showing her butt. So she goes and she sits by the water with some wine, and she's still bitching about Gino. Then she starts to cry. And I think she's doing the most. It's not like he cheated on her. He sent pictures of her breasts to his ex. I mean, cry, get mad, but get over it. Come on. I can understand if he cheated on her, she can act this way, but he didn't even cheat on her. And you shouldn't send nude pictures to people because you don't know what they're going to do with it. And the thing about him being a sugar daddy, that was years ago before he met Jasmine. So what's the big deal? He paid women for sex. Most men do that. Anyway, I'm just sick of her crying. And I think she wants to be an actress. She's doing the most. And before I watched this episode, I heard that they got back together. Anyway, meanwhile, Gino is in his room and he's sitting on his bed and he's feeling remorseful and pathetic. He looks pathetic. Later that day, Jasmine calls her friend Linda, and they're talking about Gino. And while they're talking about Gino, Jasmine gets all riled up again. And she goes to Gino's room. And Gino is sitting on his bed chilling. And Jasmine busts into Gino's room and start cussing, screaming, and yelling at him. At the top of her lungs. And Gino, he's mystified. He's perplexed. Because he's just sitting there minding his business. As far as he's concerned, she already cussed him out. And it's over. All the cussing is over with. But now here she comes again. Cussing him out. So he's perplexed and he's mystified. He's like, she comes in there screaming and he's like, say what now? He said, what? What now? Because he thought that yelling and screaming was over with. That was funny to me when he said that. So Jasmine told Gino that she is going to sue him for sending his ex her nudes. Gino said, what nudes? He said there were breasts, there were not nudes. And Jasmine, she jumps on the bed and she snatches Gino's hat off of his head. And then she leaves the room. Let me show you a picture of Gino with no hat. He looks like a mini, no, he looks like a skinny Uncle Fester. Let me see if I can find a picture. My laptop just be going off. Come on. Let's see if we can find a picture of Uncle Fester. And he has hair in the back. Yeah, I don't know why he's holding on to that, but he has hair in the back. Try to get a picture to come up, and this thing is crooked. Picture's taking forever. Here he is. He looks like a skinny Uncle Fester. Let me turn off my ring lights. And here's Gino. And he has hair in the back, but I don't know why he doesn't shave that off. And that's what he's been hiding this whole time. He looks like a thin Uncle Fester. Okay. That's Mr. Gino for you, without his hat. So she takes his hat and she goes outside the door. I guess she flings it outside somewhere and comes back into the room. Yeah, she comes back in the room screaming and yelling all over again. And she tells him that she's going to put a picture of his tiny peen online. I can't say the whole word. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube. So she's going to put a picture of his tiny peen online. Oh, when she yanks his hat off of his head and goes outside and get rid of it, he goes into his backpack and finds another hat and put it on his head. I guess he has several of these hats. And when she says she's going to put pictures of his tiny peen online, he says, I don't agree with that. He's not agreeing that he has a tiny peen. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't. Because if he did, should have mentioned that a long time ago. He told her that if she wanted to, she can send his picture, his peen picture to her exes. And Jasmine said no. Jasmine said her pictures are hot, but Gino's pictures are depressing. And Gino says, whoopee. Poor Gino. He's trying to be sarcastic, but I know he's terrified inside. I know he's terrified. She told him that he was not a man, and she did not want to see him anymore. And then Gino said, that's your choice. And Jasmine tried to snatch the hat off his head, the other hat off of his head, but the stupid producers got in the way and they wouldn't let her do it. I think that she was going to punch him or probably stab him or something. But they got in between them and they wouldn't let Jasmine do it. And then they escorted her out the room, cussing and yelling and screaming. But I wish they'd let her alone. Let her take the other hat off his head. That's the least he can do is go naked, have a naked head, since he's sending her pictures of her breasts on the internet to people. But Gino looked scared. He looked like he was about to crap his pants. So the next day, Gino was sitting outside on his balcony. He said to the camera, I think I lost her. You think? He said, I think I lost her. In his confessional, he's just crying and boo-hooing. And the producers, they just let him cry. They didn't even give him a tissue. He just crying. And they didn't even give him a tissue. So next we see Jasmine. She is on her way to Gino's room to get her purse. I love the cute dress she's wearing. The dress she's wearing is really, really cute. The sandals that she's wearing, though, they are ugly. Ugh. So she walks into Gino's room and she got her purse. And then she goes out on the balcony and tells Gino that she's leaving. I guess she's leaving the island. And Gino asks Jasmine to sit down. And when she does, he apologizes to her. And she tells him that she wants to go for a walk. So they go for a walk on the beach. And Gino apologizes some more. Gino promised never to communicate with his ex again. He told her that she is the only one he cares about. He told her that she is the perfect woman. He told her that he doesn't want to lose her because he will never find someone as amazing as she is in the world. Outside, they're making all this noise. Okay, Jasmine told Gino that she loves him and they hug it out. And then he told her he loved her too. And that was the end of Gino and Jasmine. Next up we have, I'm going to change the look on this camera. It's so, ooh, that's too dark. Is that better? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, Next, we have Mike and Ximena. Mike is back home in New York, and he has been back for 2 months. We see him cleaning up his room, and he says he's practicing being neat for Ximena. Mike said he talked to a lawyer about the visa process. He said him and Ximena are supposed to get married in Colombia the next month. Mike said since he has been back to the States, Ximena has been standoffish towards him. So he plans a last minute trip back to Colombia so that they can reconnect with each other. And I think he says he's able to telework, so he'll be able to work while he's there in Colombia. Next, we see Mike talking to his father and his grandfather. Mike tells them that he's going back to Colombia tomorrow, the next day. Mike tells them that Ximena is being distant. He told them that Ximena wants lipo and breast augmentation, and she asked him to pay for it. The father and the grandfather told him not to pay for it, but I bet he's going to do it anyway. The father asked him if he is still sending her money, and Mike lied. He said he's sending her half the money. He's helping her with half the money for her rent. No, he's not. He's paying the whole rent, and he's sending her spending money too, because it doesn't look like anybody in that house works. The father told him to stop sending her money. But I know he's not going to stop. He's going to keep on sending her money. The next scene, Mike gets to Colombia. Ximena did not come to the airport to pick him up or to meet him. So he goes to her apartment. He gets there. He sees her. He hugs her. The sister's there. He says hello. He hugs her too. Ximena talks to the camera, and she said the first time Mike came, she was super in love. But she thought about how clingy he is, and she decides that she likes her space. You like your space, but you also like him sending you money. You can't have it both ways, Ximena. You can't have him absent from your life, but sending you money. He's going to have to get something out of this deal, and that's your company. Because he says he loves you, you say you love him, y'all engaged to be married, so you have to spend time with him. Talking about you need your space. You live in a totally different country than he does. You have space. She's something else. So Mike and Ximena, they're sitting on the sofa, and then Ximena said she smells some poop. She said she smelled poop. And then Mike looks at the bottom of his shoes, and he's got poop on the bottom of his shoes. So Mike quickly removes his shoes, and he told Ximena he's gonna buy her another rug. Poor Mike. Mike, he can't win for losing. Anyway, Ximena tells Mike that she didn't want him. She didn't want to come back to Colombia until she had her operation. In the confessional, Ximena said, I want breast augmentation and a tummy tuck. She said she wants a tummy tuck and breast augmentation so that she can work as a model. Models don't have big breasts. Models have tiny breasts, and they're very, very thin, and they're very, very tall. The image she's portraying, big breasts, short, tattoos all over her damn body. That's not a model type. I think she wants breast augmentation and tummy tuck so she could swing on a pole. I think that's what she wants to do. Ain't nothing wrong with swinging on a pole, but be honest. Because if you get big breasts, models are usually thin and flat-chested and tall. And she can't, she gonna get them to stretch her and be tall? No, she wants that big breast so she can go swing on a pole somewhere. That's what she wants. Just be honest, girl. Come on. She said Mike doesn't want to give her the money to pay for her surgery, so she borrowed the money from a loan shark. Ximena, she knows loan sharks. She knows all these people in jail. She knows hitmen, and her father have the nerve to be asking Mike what's his intention when Ximena hang around all these people, she hang around all these dangerous people, and she has two young boys. And the father don't care that she knows loan shark, hitmen, people in jail. Father don't care about that, but he wants to know what Mike's intention. I tell you. Okay, Ximena said she's supposed to get the surgery in a few days, but she couldn't do it because Mike is here. Why can't she do it if Mike is here? I don't understand why she can't get the surgery while he's there. So she said she's annoyed at that she can't get her surgery because Mike is there. Anyway, Ximena tells Mike that she is going clubbing. And then Mike invites himself along. Nobody invited Mike. He just invited himself. And that's pretty mean. Mike just fly 12 hours to come see her, and she's going to go out to the clubs. Anyway, the next morning, Ximena is asleep, and Mike is calling her name, but she rolls over and she ignores him. 30 minutes later, Mike is downstairs, sitting at the dining room table, working. He's on his laptop, so he's working. And Ximena comes downstairs, and she sits at the table with him, and she asks him what he was doing. And he says he's working. He told her he's working. In his confessional, Mike said that he went to the club with Ximena. He said around 12 o'clock midnight, he told Ximena he was exhausted because he just flew 12 hours from one country to the next. So he told her he was exhausted and he wanted to go home and have some alone time with her. He wanted to have some sex, of course. But she wanted to stay at the club. So Mike left and went home, and he said he was hurt that his first night there, that she didn't come home, that he had to go home alone. So Mike asked Ximena what time did she get home, and Ximena said she got home at 9 a.m. in the morning. She has two small boys, and she goes clubbing till 9 a.m. in the morning. So who puts them to bed? Who wakes them up? Who gives them their breakfast? Help them get dressed? She's out clubbing till 9 a.m. in the morning. And on the night, her fiance flew 12 hours to come see her. Wow, she's one selfish heifer. Mike asked Ximena why did she stay out so late. Ximena said she stayed because she wanted to stay out drinking longer. And Mike asked her if she spent time with any men. And she said there were lots of men there, but they weren't with her. Ximena said in her confessional that she doesn't know the culture in the United States, but it's normal to go home late, 9 or 10 a.m. She said she don't know why Mike is interrogating her. Mike told her that he wasn't happy that she left him home alone for his first night back. And I'd be mad too. I don't blame him. Mike told the camera that Ximena is acting like she is not happy to see him, and he is not her priority anymore. Mike said they are going to be married soon, and he wants to be higher on her list. He wants to be higher on her list than he is now. Ximena tells Mike that while he is in Colombia, she won't go to the club and leave him home alone again. Mike told Ximena that he trusts her, and Ximena told Mike that he does not trust her. She said she told him, if you trusted me, then you wouldn't be asking me, we wouldn't be having this conversation. And that was the end of Mike and Ximena. Next we go to Ella and Johnny. We see Ella, she's home, and she is on her laptop booking a flight to Dubai. She said Johnny has to go to Dubai and quarantine for 14 days. So she's going to go to Dubai, and she'll spend those 14 days with him. So after booking her flight to Dubai, she calls Johnny. She FaceTimes Johnny to let him know. And Johnny's not too happy about her booking a ticket to go to Dubai. Johnny said that it's hard for him to travel now because he has to quarantine for 5 weeks in China before leaving China, and then quarantine when he gets back to China for 5 more weeks. So that's 10 weeks of quarantining for him. Wow, that's crazy. Johnny said that it's too much to sacrifice for just a short meeting, for just a 2-week meeting with her. And he's right. He got to quarantine for 10 weeks and just get to see her for 2 weeks. That's too much. Johnny has a child. For 10 weeks while he's quarantining, he won't be able to see his kid. He won't be able to see his parents. He won't be able to work to make money to support his kid and his parents. That's too much. But Ella told Johnny that she feels as though he didn't want to come in the first place. She told him that if he doesn't come to Dubai, then she's going to start seeing other men. She's threatening him. She's threatening to see other men if he doesn't meet her in Dubai. So she says she's going to give him a few days to think about whether or not he's going to meet her in Dubai. So Ella gets off the call with Johnny and she starts to blubber and cry. And she's a selfish big baby. Selfish big spoiled baby. This man would have to quarantine for 10 weeks and not see his child, not see his parents, not work, not be able to make money to support his child and his parents. And she's sitting here bawling because he doesn't want to come meet her. She is a big, dumb, spoiled brat. That's what she is. All she can think about is herself. So it's the next day in China and Johnny meets up with his friend Wang. He tells Wang about Ella wanting them to meet in Dubai. And Johnny is worried about going to Dubai and getting infected there. Because if he gets infected in Dubai, then he can't leave Dubai. He can't go anywhere, actually. Even in Dubai, he's stuck in one place. He can't go anywhere at all. And China has these strict rules and policy. But in the background, I see all these people in China and not one person with a mask on. So I don't understand what's going on. Maybe Johnny is lying about this 5-week quarantine. I don't know. Because nobody is wearing a mask. Not one person is wearing a mask in China. Anyway, Johnny told Wang about Ella's threat to have an open relationship if he doesn't meet her in Dubai. Johnny told Wang that an open relationship is unacceptable. Johnny said that he's afraid Ella will meet somebody else and he will lose her. Johnny says he is Ella's Mr. Right. I don't know why he think that he's her Mr. Right. They've been talking online for how many months now? A year. They've been talking for, I think, maybe for a year. And this is episode what, 5? Let's see which episode is this. Did I say it was? Oh no, this is episode 10. But from the first no, I won't say that for the first time I saw Ella. Okay, this is episode 10, and I see that she's a big, dumb, cry baby, spoiled brat. And he hasn't picked up on that yet? Why would you want to latch yourself to that? But he's saying he's her Mr. Right. He says he wants to get married as soon as possible. You want to marry that, Johnny? How desperate are you? You mean tell me there's no nice lady you can find in China to marry? Come on, Johnny. Or even get online and find somebody else that's nicer than Ella. Johnny said he is crazy in love with Ella. What? How are you crazy in love with Ella? Why? How? What has she done? What's her personality trait that she have that you've fallen in love with? Hey, here in my mouth. What personality trait that she has that you have fallen in love with? Wang said if he were Johnny, if he was in Johnny's shoes, he would go to Ella. Wang, shut up. You don't know what the hell he's talking about. Don't go, Johnny. Don't go. Don't listen to that Wang. You don't know what he's talking about. Wang told Johnny that Ella has waited for him for 2 years, and she need to wait 2 more years. That's all. That's it. That's it. That's it for Ella and Johnny. I can't with Ella. She selfish, bratty, spoiled. All right, let's leave her alone. Let's go on to Ben. I think this is the last one. How many minutes? 35 minutes in. Let's go on to Ben. We see Ben. He is still at the restaurant waiting for Mahogany. It's 9:02 p.m. It's over an hour that he's been waiting. He asks the waitress what time they close. The waitress tells him 11 p.m. So Ben is worried, and he's starting to think that Mahogany is not real. After a while, Mahogany walks in, and they hug. And in her confessional, Mahogany is still blaming her parents for why she didn't meet Ben at the airport. Ben is on cloud 9. Mahogany apologized for not meeting him at the airport. And she pronounces her name Mahogany. Not Mahogany, Mahogany. Ben asked her what she thought of him, and she told him he looks different, but in a good way. In her confessional, she said Ben doesn't look as muscular as he did in his pictures. Mahogany is a hypocrite. Let me show you a picture of Mahogany. She's a total hypocrite. She's saying he looks smaller in person than he does in his pictures. So does she. She's a hypocrite. Come on. My laptop be just doing whatever he wants to do and just not cooperating with me. One second. Out of frame. 1 second. I'm trying to pull up her pictures side by side so you can see the pictures that she sent. One second. One second. All right. Here, let me turn off the ring light so you can see better. Here's Mahogany. Mahogany. This is how she is now. This is her now. And this is the picture she sent to Ben. She looks younger, and the picture looks Photoshop. I mean, she's a good-looking girl. She didn't have to send young pictures and Photoshop pictures. She's a good-looking girl. Ben is 50-something years old. She looks good. She didn't have to doctor her picture. That didn't make sense for her to doctor her picture and send it to him. She has more weight on her, and she looks older. And this picture looks Photoshop. This picture right here is Photoshop. You know, her skin is not one wrinkle. Right here you can see, right here you can see, the lines around her mouth. Right here you can't see nothing because the picture is doctored. So that's Mahogany. Let's turn my ring light back on. Okay, so Mahogany's a good-looking girl. Why did she send a younger picture of herself that's Photoshop? I don't know. But then she had the nerve, she's a hypocrite. She had the nerve to say the pictures he sent, in his pictures, he looks small. No, she said he looks bigger and more buff, more muscular than he does in person. So Ben says Mahogany looks a little different than in her pictures. He said that he can tell that the pictures that she sent him were doctored a little bit. That's what he says. But he doesn't care. Of course he doesn't care. He's 50-something years old. She's 4? Of course he doesn't care. She's still pretty, and she's young. He says all he cares about is her aura. If she didn't look pretty, he would care. So don't talk about her aura. So they ordered food and ate. And Ben asks her, why do she love him? She said that she loves him because of his enormous heart, enormous bank account. She says he has a beautiful soul, a beautiful wallet, and he loves God. That's what she says. And she says that's all that's important to her. Then she tells him that she needs to get to know him better. She says Ben is nice and attractive. She says that his feelings are much stronger for her, and he is taking things much too seriously than she is, which is bull crap, because she was telling him she loved him when she was texting him. When they were texting each other, she was saying she loved him. They planned on getting married, having kids. And I saw some of the texts while he was, they showed us some of the texts. And I saw some of the texts where she was talking about how she loved him and she was going to take care of his heart. And they were going to have kids and get married and blah, 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 blah. And now she's saying he's more serious than she is. She's a liar and she's a hypocrite. You know what she needs to do? Mahogany needs to pay him the $1,000 loan that he loaned to her so that he can go back to the States and find somebody, date somebody closer to his age. Because I heard that they're not seeing each other. Yeah, I heard they're not seeing each other. She's not into this man. She just wanted some money. And she got her money. And they call it a loan. It ain't no loan. That wasn't no loan. So you know what she does? They say goodbye. He asks for a hug, and she barely hugged him. She gets in her car and she drives off, and she leaves him standing out there in the dark with his luggage in another country, a foreign country, all by himself. She didn't offer to give him a ride to a hotel. She didn't offer to stay there and wait with him until his Uber shows up. Nothing. She just drives off and leave him standing there in the dark with his damn luggage in a foreign country, all by himself, all alone, looking pathetic. And that's what you get, Ben, for dating someone young enough to be your granddaughter. They don't give a crap about you. All they care about is your money. So Ben said that Mahogany is not the same way she was online. Oh, of course not, because when you were online with her, she was trying to get money from you when she got her money from you, and now she wants absolutely nothing to do with you. He says he told her, since they've met, he's told her he loved her about 3 times and she has not repeated it. He said she is not telling me she loved me back, and that's very concerning because she doesn't love you. She said she loved you just so that you could send her some money, and now you've sent her money and she's done with you. So that is it. That is my review/recap. I'll be back next week with another review. Thank you so much for watching. Princess on a Pillow here. Bye.